This is Subhani Patan from Capgemini, working as associate consultant from 2.8 years. And I am experience of software development, and I am a UI developer. So this is a knowledgeable session for software development lifecycle. So this session is being recorded on the account of National Library Week. So first of all, I would like to thank Dr. A.M. Prasad sir for giving me this opportunity, and I hope everyone utilizes this digital library system to enhance their skills and knowledge. So let's begin our session with SDLC. So let me present my screen. So software development life cycle. So what is software development life cycle? It is a process, it is a framework that describes the activities performed at each stage of software development of a project. So to be more specific, in a corporate world, to create a software, there are certain types of steps and processes which needs to be followed. So these process and steps in for software development and software product release into the world. So this SDLC needs to be followed. So there are some certain phases in SDLC. So requirement and gathering analysis. So this step comes. So what is our requirement? So what we should develop? So what is customer's requirement? And we should gather, we should analyze whether it is possible technically and whether we can do it or not. And we need to analyze the situation and difficulties and hard phases which need. So after all these gatherings and requirement gathering phases, so there would be a design phase where we will create one certain prototype and design and the steps to be followed. And after designing it, the development takes place. And after development, the testing, and after testing, the implementation, which in terms the real-time acceptance and everything, and it goes to implementation into the market. After releasing into the market, the companies will provide its maintenance, so which is mainly given in service-based industries. So SDLC phases. So the SDLC phases are phase one. It is a project installation. So rough order and magnitude ROM. So project development estimator. So in an organization, when a project is proposed, they will provide take the documents and everything, and they will give a rough estimation what is its cost and everything and its management and everything comes in scope. In phase 2 it is a requirement definition. So requirement definition comes in project management plan. So when we are starting and when it will be ending, so all the charter developments and everything and functional requirements. So if any softwares are required, the organization will purchase it. If and technical requirements, so technical is the hardware and everything and support from everything. So requirement and review. So after all, what is the review and approval? So if we are running this, so what is the cost going to us and what is the cost we are getting it? So these will be measured as a profit business venture. So afterward, the statement of work. So this is our work. We will give you this and this much need to be considered. So this is the requirement phase definition. And after phase 3, the design. So design is internal and external. So we'll have certain meetings with customer, so whether to decide it is an design document, so whether it is accepted or not. And after it, the design review and everything will be gone. After the design review, it will go to the documentation phase and everything. So after it, the construction, and the construction is here prototype. So we, after prototype, we will do, developers will do a simple code review and do their sanity testings and everything, and afterwards it will go to the testing phase. So based on different models such as waterfall model, spiral model and agile, here these processes, trainings and documentation, these will be varying, so which will be coming in the next slide. So here the process, so next thing is testing. In testing you will do the system testing and test summary and next product release. So optional and operational and acceptance testing will be there, and then the acceptance documentation. And so moving on forward, it is an enhancement and maintenance phase as discussed. So if any enhancements, so in between of these things, if any changes, if any major change is expected by the customer, then the change of scope. So the change of scope document will be gone, which leads to the phase 2, and again from there again all the processes will be change of process, control process will go and everything will be recorded. So next, SDLC model. So to help to understand and implement the SDLC phases, various SDLC models have been created by the software development experts, universities and standard organization. So reasons for using SDLC provided the basis of as a inform. So basis of project planning and estimation and schedule, and provides the framework for standard set of terminologies, activities and deliverables, provides the mechanism for project tracking and control, and it also increases the visibility of project progress to all the stakeholders, which is an important point, so that we can have our milestone wise phase buildings and everything, where the stakeholders will be seeing our visibility, our work done by our project. Next, advantages of choosing an appropriate SDLC. So, as I said, there will be different SDLC, agile, waterfall, and spiral. So, based on the client requirement, based on the project requirement, we need to choose it. The appropriate selection is dependent on the project development team and we and testing team. So the organization whichever does the software development, so they need to do choose their. And so here the appropriate, so what aspects we should choose the software development life cycle. So based on, we should choose by increase in development speed, so increase product quality, improve tracking and control, improve client relation, decrease project relation, decrease project aspects. So these things have to be, these six things have to be taken in part while selecting the, while choosing our appropriate SDLC model. So common life cycle models. So these are three, as I said, waterfall and spiral is also known as iterative model and agile model. So waterfall model, see waterfall model is, it seems it's a waterfall type. So step by step analysis, design and development, testing and deployment and maintenance. So this is the waterfall model. So waterfall model is, it is one of the oldest and most well known SDLC model, followed a sequential step by step process and requirement analysis to maintain. So systems that will have defined and understood requirements are a good fit for waterfall model. So for the systems which are having it well defined and understood requirements are a good fit for waterfall models. So waterfall model strengths. So it is easy to understand, easy to use, and provides structure to inexperienced staff. So milestones are well understood, set the requirement stability, and good for magnet control, plan, staff track, etc. So works well when quality is more important than cost and cost or schedule. So if the quality is required high, then cost or schedule. So in waterfall model there is a main drawback of schedule. So weaknesses. So the weaknesses is, to perform a waterfall model, we should have all the requirement fully specified upfront. So in between, if it is any change, why? Because if you see the waterfall model, if in between it is step by step, in between if it any step need to be changed, again we should start from analysis. So it is a time killing process and time taking process. So that's why waterfall model should have all predefined requirements which upfront. So deliverables are created for each phase are considered frozen. So if by the deliverables for each and every milestone have to be so so inhibits the flexibility, so there will be no flexibility. So if we are planned to do this work, this should be completed because this step is dependent on the next step. So we should not, there is no flexibility to skip any of the parts, so we should develop all. So it does not reflect problem solving nature of a software development. So iteration phases, integration is one of the big bang at the end. So if the integration gets failed, then we need to follow it from the again, where the cost will be double again for the rework of everything, and the time is killed. So and it is very little opportunity for customer to preview the system. So customer cannot see any demo until the end, because the once the site, once the application will be up at the end phase after testing. So when to use waterfall model? So these are the, so to use waterfall model, our requirements should be very well known. There should be no change, and product definition is stable. Technology is understood, and no new version of an existing product. So porting of an existing product to a new platform. So this is the one. So requirements are well known, I had explained, and product definition should be stable. So Product definition, so the functionalities and the product, what should the product should do in the market, and it should be stable, it should not have any dynamic behavior. And technology is understood, so which technology to be used, such as C++, Java. So what is the technology in Angular, Node? So which technology to be used, it should be understood by the team and everyone. A new version, so if there is an any existing Windows application, so now as per the product should be updated to a new technology such as web based application. So at that time we can use this waterfall requirement, which could be, as all the application will be predefined, so just we are converting the technology. So this could be a good example for waterfall model. And porting, so similarly supporting an existing product to a new platform, so platform change. Next, so next model is spiral or iterative. So it is a round method. So it is a repetitive method which will be continuously gathering. So requirement analysis, design, and it is a round. Everything will be going round until the process is completed. So spiral model is a risk-driven iterative model. Divides a project into iteration. Each iteration deals with one or more risks. So each iteration starts with a small set of requirements and goes through a development phase except the installation and maintenance for those set of requirements. So iterate until all major risks are addressed and application is ready for installation and maintenance phase. So each of the iteration prior to the product version is a prototype of the application. Last iteration is a waterfall process. So spiral model is nothing but the waterfall which will be continuously performing all these steps in a iteration mode, in a repetitive mode, to address all this. So the final will be the waterfall process. So provides an early indication of in some, so it provides an, if this repetition mode, it will provide an risk of early risks and without much cost. So critical high functions are developed first. The design does not have to be perfect. Users see the system early because of the rapid prototyping tools. Users can be closely tied to all life cycle steps. Early and frequent feedback from users. So time spent in evaluating the risk is too large. So these are the drawbacks. So the time spent for evaluating risks are too large for the small or low risk projects. Time spent planning, resetting objectives, doing risk analysis and prototype may be excessive. The model is complex. The risk assessment expertise is required and spiral may continue indefinitely. May be hard to define objective verifiable milestones that indicated readiness to proceed through the next iteration. So when to use spiral model? So when we create a prototype is appropriate, when cost and risk evaluation is important. For medium to high risk projects, users are unsure of their needs, requirements are complex, new product line, significant changes are expected, research and such as research and exploration projects. So the latest and now the upcoming more the organizations are habitated towards the agile methodology because it is a step by step prototype and each step will have all the testing, design and development phase. So it is the work is divided into sprints. Each sprint have the different stories, what to be done and which to be tested. So it involves the mainly customer interaction and all the steps to be early risk. So agile project, it is speed up or bypass one or more life cycle phases. So usually less formal and reduced scope when the user is not having any details about the requirement. So what he is expecting when it is a critical project, time critical application, we should do it as step by step. We should make the work in sprints and we should do it. So used in organized the template discipline methods. So rapid application development. So some methods of agile are there are few methods of agile, so which is an rapid application development, scrum, extreme programming, adaptive software development, feature driven development, crystal clear and dynamic software development method, and rational unified process. So delivering a work, so agile has a basic strengths. So it is a delivering a product faster than the conventional linear development model. So customer feedback at every stage ensures that the developer satisfies their expectations. No guesswork between the development team and the customer, as there is a face-to-face communication and continuous input from client. For a larger projects, it is difficult to judge the efforts and the time required. For the SDLC project, for the project in SDLC, Since the requirements are ever changing, there is hardly any emphasis which is laid on design and documentation. Therefore, chances of this project going off the track easily are much so. So, thank you. So, thank you everyone for giving me this opportunity and hope you all have a wonderful session.